Otherwise, I'm looking for love from. Yes. Yes, that's a better position for engagement. So, CS, welcome. I can see now you have come with another cap from the Minister of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry. Last time you were here and I was also presenting. You are the CS for Health. And so welcome back to the Senate. I think this new docket is so friendly to anybody can be able to engage on matters of environment because they are actually what we do every day. So you have one question from the Senator for Kirinyaga County, Senator Murango, question number 037. So I'll request Senator Wakiri Sigei to stand on behalf of Senator Murango of that communication.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And I'm reading this question on behalf of Senator James Murango from Kirinyaga, pursuant to a letter of authorization dated 9th of April 2025, authorizing me to ask the question on his behalf. Madam CS, welcome to the Senate. And this is the question that the Honorable Senator for Kirinyaga, question number 37, has got for you. Could the Cabinet Secretary provide details on the ongoing tree harvesting in Kamurwana Hill Forest in Kirinyaga Central Constituency, stating whether the harvesting is legal and whether public participation was undertaken prior to the harvesting? Question B, what measures is the government implementing to assure the local community of environmental safety given the risks of deforestation in the context of climate change and its potential impact on the ecosystem? And question C, Madam CS asks you to give us steps that the ministry has taken to prevent deforestation and promote reforestation efforts across the country. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Madam CS, you can respond to the three questions simultaneously.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, for giving us the opportunity to address the questions and concerns that were given to us. Honorable Speaker, Kamurwana Hill Karaini, which is within Kangaita Forest Station, is located in Kirinyaga West Sub-County and covers an area of 23.87 hectares, composed of 14.7 hectares of Pinus patula, that is pine trees plantation, and 9.17 hectares of bush and grasslands, and is detached from the main forest block of Kangaita Forest. Honorable Speaker, with regards to harvesting in Kamurwana Hill Karaini Forest, I wish to clarify that there is no tree harvesting activities being undertaken on this hill. This can be confirmed by the latest satellite imagery and photos annexed A and B. And if and when this is going to take place, the Kenya Forest Service will be guided by the provision provided in the Forest Conservation and Management Act and any other relevant legislation such as MCA 1999, PAFMA, and Public Procurement and Assessment Disposal Act, with strict adherence to meaningful public participation. With regards to the question about the measures the government is implementing to assure local community of environmental safety, given the risk of deforestation in the context of climate change and its potential impacts on the ecosystem, Honorable Speaker, the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry is implementing strategic measures to guarantee environmental safety to the local communities. The measures are outlined in Section 48 of the Forest Conservation and Management Act 2016 and the National Environment Policy 2013. For example, in fulfillment of the legal environmental requirements as stipulated in the Environmental Management Coordination Act, MCA 1999, under the second schedule, Kenya Forest Service undertook an environmental impact assessment. The Mount Kenya Forest Ecosystem Environmental and Social Impact Assessment for Forest Plantations, Annex 1. During the process of development of the EIA report, sufficient public participation was conducted, such as public participation report for the Mount Kenya Forest Ecosystem in Embu, Annex 2. The scope of the environmental and social impact assessment was impact identification, mitigation measures, environmental management plan during harvesting, and safety measures. Refer to Chapter 6 of Annex 3 on potential environmental and social impacts and mitigation measures. The ESIA also provides guidance on seedling production, planting, management of plantations, process for disposal of mature plantations, harvesting and decommissioning. You can refer to Chapter 5.8 on project activities, and also provide for public participation in those areas. The Kenya Forest Service was subsequently issued with an EIA license to undertake the harvesting with accompanying conditions, Annex 4, as attached. Harvesting operations of plantations in the country are guided by ESIA report on environmental and social safeguards. In order to address climate change and resilience, Kenya Forest Service is carrying out its afforestation and reforestation operational plan, which aims to restock harvested plantations and develop and restore degraded forest areas within natural forest ecosystem. This is part of the KFS Forest Conservation 2024-2025 Annual Work Plan, Annex 5. Specifically, on the medium-term 4 and beta priorities, the ministry has, number 1, finalized the development of National Forest Policy 2023 and the National Landscape and Ecosystem Restoration Strategy 2023-2032, mobilized resources and mainstreaming tree growing in all sectors, awareness creation and publicity. Thirdly, coordinated production of quality tree seeds towards achievement of 100 metric tons annually. Fourth, coordinated seedling production towards achievement of 1.5 billion annually. Number 5, coordinated growing of trees towards achievement of 1.5 billion annual targets. Number 6, recruited 2,664 forest rangers. 7, rehabilitated 61,256 hectares of degraded public natural forests, established 10,763 hectares of public forest plantation, fenced 1,190 kilometers of natural public forests, rehabilitated 7,505.69 hectares of mangrove forest ecosystem, and rehabilitated 3,054 hectares of bamboo forests. Regarding the question about what steps the ministry has taken to prevent deforestation and promote reforestation efforts across the country, Honorable Speaker, in order to prevent deforestation across the country, the ministry has, number 1, through the KFS, that's the Kenya Forest Service, recruited, trained, and deployed 2,664 forest rangers, 474 foresters across all the forest stations for protection and surveillance to enhance survival of planted seeds, Annex 6. The recent recruitment of forest rangers, forest officers, and cadets has been a game changer, achieving a significant reduction in illegal forest activities which contribute to deforestation. The ministry again deployed a multi-agency security team to enforce and eradicate illegal logging and charcoal production. There is enhanced surveillance and patrols. KFS has intensified surveillance efforts, including aerial monitoring and ground patrols, to deter illegal activities. These measures have contributed to a reduction in illegal logging and charcoal production as communities become more aware of the importance of forest conservation. Annex 7. Legal enforcement: individuals apprehended for engaging in illegal logging and charcoal production face legal consequences, including fines and other penalties. This strict enforcement serves as a deterrent to others considering involvement in such activities. For the regulatory measures, the ministry has drafted regulations to regulate charcoal production. Proposed legislation mandates the registration and licensing of all commercial charcoal producers, requiring them to obtain permits before engaging in production. These regulations prohibit charcoal production in ecologically sensitive areas and impose strict guidelines on packaging and labeling to enhance transparency and traceability within the charcoal market. To enhance community involvement in forest conservation, the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry will unveil a 24-hour toll-free number for reporting illegal forest activities, including logging and illegal charcoal burning. This initiative encourages citizens to actively participate in safeguarding forest resources by reporting suspicious activities. Number 7, the ministry has held a series of community sensitization meetings in illegal logging and charcoal producing areas to promote forest conservation and management under the participatory forest management arrangements annexed 8. The ministry has also undertaken fencing of 1,190 kilometers of public forests in this financial year 2024-2025. The ministry has promoted controlled grazing through grazing plans across the forest stations. The ministry, through KFS, has an elaborate fire management plan which entails establishment of smoke detection system, digital radio communication, and supply of firefighting equipment. Honorable Speaker, and on reforestation efforts, the ministry is spearheading the National Landscape and Ecosystem Restoration Strategy and is actively participating in the 15 billion tree growing national initiative in partnership with partners, stakeholders, and county governments. The exercise restores degraded ecosystems while boosting climate resilience. In the 15 billion tree growing initiative, every county has an obligation to grow a given number of trees over the next 10 years. To ensure production of quality tree seedlings, certified seeds are sourced from authorized seed provider KEFRI for quality assurance. The ministry, through KFS and other agencies such as KEFRI, is raising tree seedlings in tree nurseries and offering technical advice to community forest associations, timber manufacturers association, farmers, and other stakeholders on good tree nursery practices to ensure quality seedlings production. Through KFS, active reforestation is being undertaken in gazetted forest areas, while on the other hand, technical support is being provided to support tree planting in private farmlands and community forests. Reforestation within plantation areas is a continuous program and conforms to the plantation forest management plans to replant the open areas created after harvesting. This is Annex 10. Sensitizing the public on species to site matching ensures that the public plants the right tree species in their suitable ecological zones, thus enhancing survival and growth of the planted trees. The species site matching is also outlined in the Jaza Miti app, an online tree planting reporting platform that is Annexed 11. Provision of advice on optimal tree planting time based on meteorological weather forecasts is routinely conducted, and strengthening governance in participatory forest management. The development of frameworks and guidelines on economic alternatives for communities, such as commercialization of non-forest products. Supporting adoption of multipurpose tree species to reduce pressure on public forests, such as provision of guidelines for growing of Melia volkesi, that is Mukau in the Asal region, which is Annex 12, for growing of Melia. The development of partnership in tree growing with various stakeholders in adopting forests through framework of collaboration agreements. And continuous public awareness creation on opportunities and incentives on tree growing, such as the carbon credit schemes, value chains in commercial and agroforestry. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and honorable members.
Thank you. So, Senator Wakili, on behalf of Senator Murango, you have now an opportunity to ask 2 supplementary questions to the CS. Proceed.
Thank you once again, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Honorable CS, for the response that you have shared with the House as regards the questions from Honorable Senator Murango. Mr. Speaker, I've got 2 supplementary questions. One is with regards to the clarification, the need to have a clarification from the CS under Annex 1A, because the question is asking about harvesting. The answer is that there is no harvesting. I've looked at the Annex under A in response from the Honorable CS, and under A, there is a time stamp as to when that Google map of Kamuruana Hill Forest was pulled out. That is actually the 8th of April 2025. I do not know what time that was, but then my supplementary question emanates from Annex B, which 2 maps do not have a time stamp as to when they were printed out. Could the Honorable CS confirm whether the same is within the time span or the date of the 8th of April, or it could have been something that was just taken for purposes of responding to this question? And a supplementary question number 2, Honorable CS, is with regards to the answer to question 37C on what the ministry has taken to prevent deforestation and promote reforestation efforts across the country. The answer appearing at page 6 has listed several action points the ministry has undertaken, and my supplementary question is from point Roman 8, where the ministry has undertaken fencing of 1,190 kilometers of public forest in this financial year. I would like to know from the Honorable CS the efforts the ministry has put in place to ensure that such fence are protected and are able to last for a reasonable timeline. I'm saying this, Honorable Speaker, because I come from Bomet County, and there is a forest called Chepalungu Forest, which was fenced last year. And I can report, Honorable CS, that within a period of 4 months, almost a quarter of the section of the forest had already either collapsed or could easily be accessible by the public, meaning it will not serve the purpose. And secondly, the aspect in ensuring the promotion of controlled grazing through grazing plans has not been fully implemented. I'm saying this also with regard to that particular forest, Chepalungu Forest, especially Siongiroi area, where it has been reduced into a toll station, where rangers have allowed farmers to take their cows for grazing into the forest with unregulated arrest and unregulated fines imposed on farmers. Farmers within that particular forest, and I believe across the country, would also be subjected to illegal arrest, where rangers have used the opportunity, where there is a plan in place to make sure that they get to obtain money illegally from those who are involved in grazing of the animals within the forest because of this particular plan. How have you put in place a mechanism to ensure that this particular arrangement is not misused? I've given you the example of the Chepalungu forest in my county where that practice is rampant. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Madam CS.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, Honorable Members. So I wish to clarify that the pictures were taken yesterday. And secondly, regarding the concerns on the fencing, we are working with the Community Forest Association, and the key components that we are looking into is the maintenance of the fencing. Again, we have rangers, as we've said, to ensure that there is security and the forests are protected. Equally, we have the grazing plan. So a comprehensive report can also be shared in the concerns of mitigation of the same. Thank you.
Senator Wakili.
The Honorable CS has not answered that second limb of the question. I would have expected her to make an indication as to whether she's got no specific response on a mechanism put in place, and give us a timeline. For example, if she desires to retreat and establish what such mechanisms are.
That's on the grazing?
Yes, on the grazing plans. She acknowledged that they exist. She equally acknowledged that there exist also rangers, but did not give an answer or even sought for a specific timeline within which he can do that.
So we kindly request, Honorable Chair, you give us 7 days to have a comprehensive report to share with you on what we are doing to address the concern.
Also, as you do that, from the chair, also give this House the role of the CFEs in forest conservation and management. What is their role? Because it is in the Act, Forest Management Act 2016. What is the role of CFEs in the forest management? Because that is where the forest management and also the grazing rights to access the forest in the communities. That is where now the question comes from in Chepalungu Forest, because that grazing is not well coordinated. And it is in law that the community should be able to access forest through the CFAs. So maybe as you do that, the 7 days, give us a comprehensive statement or response to that effect.
Thank you.
Okay, Senator Wakili, are you comfortable now? Very well. Yeah, that is a case study, Chepalungu Forest. Also in relation also to the forest in Kirinyaga. Yeah, so members, you have a chance to ask only one supplementary question. Senator Paul Karungo Dangwa.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My question is actually close to what Senator Sigei, on behalf of Senator Murango, asked about the illegal logging. And it's happening in Karura Forest, that is on Kiambu Road near DCI, and it's also happening in Thogoto Forest. And Mr. Speaker, when Kenya Forestry Service was asked about this illegal logging in 2005, they assured the public that the ongoing activities are part of the well-planned forest management. And they also assured that they are going to plant trees between March and May, and you are now in April. There are no planting of trees in those two forests, that's Thogoto and Karura. It's not happening. And the illegal logging is continuing at an alarming rate, Mr. Speaker. And they're saying they are cutting for domestic fuel. You know, if you are doing for domestic fuel, you give the woods and the timber and the trees, trunks to the neighbors there. But we see trucks, big trucks, taking these logs away, Mr. Speaker. So can she clarify what is happening?
A few more questions because they might be related in one way or the other. As Professor Tom Ojenda, Senator Kisumu. Then Senator Onyong Kalichan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to also just mention to the CS, I do not know whether she's aware and the team she's with that if you go to roughly 7 counties of Western Kenya, you're talking about Trans Nzoia, you're talking about Kakamega, you're talking about Siaya, Kisii, Homa Bay, and I believe, if I'm not sure, Bomet could also be included. There is a Chinese company that is cutting trees indiscriminately, packaging those trees into trucks and shipping them off to China. I remember very, very clearly, the president once came to Kisii and he said, we don't want to be exporting raw materials. We want to make sure that if there's anything to be done, let it be processed on site so that there is value addition, so that we can employ our people and so that we can be responsible. I don't know whether the CS is aware of this, and if she is, what is the strategy, the plan? For example, the individuals, Mr. Speaker, the company, the Chinese individuals who are cutting these trees, nobody knows who they are. Nobody understands who they represent. Nobody has ever told us the purpose of the cutting of those trees indiscriminately. And you remember, Speaker, even in Meru, historically, once trees are cut, then they have to be replanted. There is no strategy for replanting of trees or any other fauna and flora which is being destroyed. Finally, the environment, Mr. Speaker, when these trees are being cut, they are actually causing an environmental hazard. Why? Because they leave all the offcuts and the materials on site and they move out, going to the other site. I just wanted the minister to help so that we can understand what's going on. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Let's get the last one on this round from Senator Mugatana Danson.
Thank you, Waziri. Thank you for visiting us in Tana River County in your previous capacity. Mr. Speaker, the question I have is about data. On 22nd December 2022, an initiative was launched in the Ministry of Environment, and it was led by none other than His Excellency the President. And this initiative was very good because we are supposed to be planting 15 billion trees between 2022 and 2032. That means every year we are supposed to be doing 1.5 billion. So this being 2025, we are supposed to be doing 4.5 billion from 2022. What I want to know, Mr. Speaker, is how many trees have been planted in the county of Tana River and generally in Kenya. Mr. Speaker, when you look at SHA in the Ministry of Health where our Cabinet Secretary served before, there is a data platform. So every single day in real time, even any Kenyan can enter that data and know how many people have registered every single day. What I want to know is how many trees have been planted. And if this is not being done, how sure are we of the numbers that you're announcing here? Mr. Speaker, can we have a plan of data collection so that we speak with seriousness on this matter? It is a generational issue, and we would like to know whether the minister is actually keeping that data and what happened to that initiative. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Senators, as you have realized, the last 3 questions were not related to the answer that the CSN come to answer. But of course, she has answered your questions. So I think from where she sits, it might not be possible to give the data or the information on all the questions. So from where I sit again as your chair, maybe there are some questions that she can be able to answer right away. Others like that one, which needs accurate data of how many trees. She cannot maybe use her phone to give you that data now. So as we ask these questions, let us be also live that she might not be having answers right away to our questions. But I'm giving you some real at least to ask your questions, because the CS is your CS, the CS representing this country in the ministry. So at least some of the questions she can just note and also give commitment. She did so well with the other issue on Bomet Cheparungu Forest. She gave a commitment of 7 days to give the plans they have on the grazing in the forests. So members, as you ask, don't expect answer now. And I'm not defending the CS, but you remember our standing order says you ask a question which is related to the primary question. But I'm giving you that 3 or at least to ask questions which are very relevant in the forest management. So next is, answer those 3 questions first. CS.
Yes, thank you very much. And as been said, Honorable Speaker, we want to do a comprehensive, a detailed, share with you a detailed and a comprehensive report when it comes to tree planting. That way we can all be on the same page moving forward where we are as a country in terms of achieving our 15 billion tree plantation. And so we want to assure you that we have the Jazamiti app, which is a data-driven where we are monitoring. Currently we have 783 million trees planted. 652 have already been incorporated into this app, and 131 have been manually collected. So in this app, again, we are monitoring the growth to ensure that these trees are really thriving and they are viable. And so we'll be able to share with you the comprehensive report per county. And what we have had several discussions is that every month, every county should have a report on how many trees they have been able to plant vis-a-vis what has been targeted. So I can assure you that this comprehensive report, again, will be shared within 7 days. And again, there is no illegal logging. That I can assure you, and planting is ongoing, and I believe that this comprehensive report will cover that to really, give you evidence, tangible evidence of the number of trees. We have even GIS, geomapping of where the trees are. We are even able to show the coverage all over the country as the years progress where we'll be having. So this, no illegal logging, this has been stopped. The concerns with the Chinese company, it was happening, but that has been stopped. We can even share the letters showing evidence that none of that is going on at the moment. So, Honorable Speaker, we kindly request to share a comprehensive report with tangible evidence, and we assure the members that we'll be sharing monthly reports so that they can be informed on what is going on in matters of tree planting within the country. Thank you.
You touch on the Karura Forest, what is happening in Karura Forest?
Yes, Karura Forest, no illegal logging, and what we can do is even have touring together and also meet with the communities around, discuss and engage so that you can be fully informed that none of that is going on there. Thank you.
Okay, Senator Karungo, you have been invited to that trip to Karura Forest to go and access what is happening there.
Mr. Speaker, that is why I pass every day. I do not require invitation. And the issue of Karura and the issue of Dogoto, I even have videos that I can forward to Madam CS. So I think I need a comprehensive report. I don't need to visit. I pass there every day on my way to work.
So together with what she will be comparing for the other questions, I think she will be able also to, actually she has mentioned that she will do a comprehensive report of the whole country, forest by forest, acreage by acreage, so that now we can tackle this matter awesomely. Therefore, so that we don't ask a forest in Kakamega, a forest in Nyandarua, a forest in, we want a comprehensive report of all the forested areas in Kenya. So I'll be requesting if maybe you are still asking on a forest in that part of the country where you come from, we wait for that report. But if Senator Sifon, you feel you have a different question, then I'll allow you to ask. So the rest, maybe we wait for the...
Honorable Speaker, allow me to help my neighbor, the senator from Kiambu. You see, Honorable Speaker, the senator for Kirinyaga asked the cabinet secretary to give details of ongoing tree harvesting in Kamurwana Hill Forest. The answer that the CS gave was that there is no such activity going on. The senator for Kirinyaga, as I know him, he's not a madman. I am sure there is somewhere from which this question originates. Madam CS, the problem we have with this ministry is that you do not communicate. And in fact, it is the entire government. This government is unable to communicate. The problem with Karura, Honorable CS, is that instead of the ministry ahead of time telling the people of Nairobi and the country that we will be doing harvesting of mature trees next week so that everybody is on the same page, you wait until we are sent videos online of felling of trees, then we see a statement from Kenya Forest saying, oh, that is us. The problem is communication. We wake up one day and we can see people clearing sections of Ngong Forest on the southern bypass. Then when we ask, oh, that is us. I think that is where the problem is. So you need to tell us as a ministry, what is your policy on communication when you want to do tree planting, tree harvesting? Why can't you tell the country in advance? The senator for Kiambu is not a madman. We have seen you felling trees in Karura.
What is your supplementary question, Senator Sifuna?
So the question is...
Just a minute, Senator Mandago. Just continue. I've asked you to ask you a supplementary.
Honorable Speaker, why am I being heckled by people from Wasinigishu? We are talking about Karura. I don't even know whether he knows where Karura Forest is. Can he allow us to engage this? Yes. Why am I being heckled by people from Wasinigishu? When it comes to forests in Elbagon or wherever it is, you can ask your question. Chair, the reason we were concerned, me and my brother from Kiambu here, Honorable Speaker, Karura Forest is at the heart of the people of Nairobi and Kiambu. So what is the communication policy? Do you wait until Twitter tells us, Sifuna, there is logging going on in Karura before you give a statement? Why can't you tell us these trees don't mature by surprise? I am sure the forest department knows how long it takes a tree to mature and when it will be due for harvesting. Why can't you tell us in advance instead of waiting for Twitter to tell us that trees are being felled, then you come and say, oh, that is us?
That question is not different with what was asked by Senator Karongo and the rest. Senator Kinwa, she will answer together with several other questions from other members.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is, this planting of trees, Mr. Speaker, is it a PR exercise or we are committed to it? Because in Laikipia County in particular, a place called Kauka, the minister then, Mr. Njeru, planted trees. We went there to plant trees, but that place, as we speak right now, there is no single tree because the elephant went there and they destroyed everything. This year again, the governor was there, plus the cabinet, I don't know the cabinet, but the PS, I can't remember which PS. They planted trees. So my question is it a public PR exercise to plant trees? And when we talk about planting trees, how many have we planted? It is not how many have we planted, how many have survived, Mr. Speaker? Because every time we talk about planting trees, but we don't know how many are surviving. Every time, Mr. Speaker, we are told the trees are planted, there is a day set for planting trees. Is it planting trees, Mr. Speaker, or is it the number of trees that have survived? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
What you're asking is, are we planting trees or growing trees? Growing. Because if you grow, you must tender those seedlings from the onset until maturity. So maybe your question is, are we growing trees or planting? You can plant and go, but growing, your eyes are there full time so that you can be able to nurture them. Senator Nduro, Fatuma.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and Waziri. Mr. Speaker, my question is on Madenge, and I hope Waziri understands what Madenge is. And previously, Madenge was introduced more specifically to northern Kenya to actually control desertification. But this plant is causing a lot of havoc in many parts of northern Kenya. I have repeated this question even in the last Senate, because the communities living in those areas, they are unable to graze even their animals because of Madenge. Number two, the communities have requested the Ministry of Environment to be allowed to burn charcoal from those plants so that at least they can control Madenge growing. There were...
Tanduro, the senator representing Nyeri County is wondering whether it is him or who are you referring to? Is it Madenge, senator for Nyeri, or Madenge tree?
No. Mr. Speaker, Madenge is Madenge plant. What is called Prosopolis or something like that.
It's called Prosophis juliflora.
Exactly. You are right. It looks like you have done environmental science.
See,
or whatever it
that's
is.
That's my area. You know I can
Oh,
lecture you.
thank you.
Here.
So me, I've not done
area.
that. So, Mr. Speaker, it's not Madenge a person, but it's Madenge the plant. What I really wanted to know from the minister, I'm sure she's new in the ministry, but the DG Forest is there, the minister, the PSS are there. Us people living in northern Kenya, we have a lot of challenges. Those trees are dangerous. They are even poisonous. They are killing our animals. I want to know whether the ministry has plans to allow the communities living in those areas to burn charcoal from those plants, or what plans do they have to control those plants? I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Last one from Senator Seki.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I also want to request to understand from the Cabinet Secretary on the issue of Ololua Forest in Ngong and Kajiado North. That sometimes back, Honorable Speaker, we had a big problem on Ololua Forest where there are quite a number of intruders who encroached the forest and blocked the grazing and animals taking water from the river nearby. And I wanted to know the status of that encroachment, particularly on the area of Ololua. Could she just tell us what are the plans the ministry has done to make sure that that encroachment has been protected and even those people have been put in books? Otherwise, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Madam CS, you can answer those 4 interventions.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker and honorable members. Indeed, these are quite interesting questions, of which some of them would require us to sit down in order to give you quite a comprehensive report, which we are again assuring you. That way we have tangible evidence and ensuring that we are all in the same page. Regarding the Karura Forest, there has been adequate communication by the KFS and Friends of Karura through their social pages. There is also a public notice in all gates in Karura Forest whenever the activities occur. Again, for the concerns about the planting, we are not planting, but we are growing trees as a ministry. And maybe what I forgot to say is that from the 783 million trees that we have planted, what we have noticed is there's an 85% survival rate for the trees in 3 years, meaning 85% of the trees are actually surviving. And what we are also monitoring is how many are being cut down. That way we don't have a negative net. So that is part of the communication, that is part of the report that we will be sharing. And again, it will be categorized per county to ensure that everyone is well informed. For Laikipia, yes, we take note of the elephants that were able to destroy, and indeed they are a menace. And there is a fencing, electric fencing that has been installed by KWS to address the elephants' tree damage with the human and wildlife contact. So electric fence has been installed in that area. Regarding the Prosopis juliflora or madenge, we have actually drafted a CAB memo, and it will very soon be tabled in the cabinet. It will provide a comprehensive report and approach through an interministerial committee to address this concern. And we know that it's currently affecting the 27 counties, and that is why we needed to have a comprehensive approach to this, and we will keep you informed on what will progress thereafter to address it. However, for the charcoal, yes, there's a draft Charcoal Regulation 2025 currently undergoing public participation, which will allow sustainable charcoal production. Thank you.
One from Senator Sekirenku, Olodua Forest. What is not in order? What is out of order? The CS or who? Let's first answer the question from Senator Seki.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the Ololua area is it is now protected. There are no illegal activities, no encroachment. As I said, we are happy to tour the area with you to ensure that, again, this is the case, because we are confident that now it is well protected.
The Cabinet Secretary alluded to the fact that that area mentioned, Kauka, is fenced off, which is not correct, Mr. Speaker. So maybe other areas of Laikipia, like for example, the areas of Moateto, that's why we are having electric fence. But the area mentioned, Kauka, Minor Village, all the way to Marmanet, that area, people are still being affected by those elephants. And I give her benefit of doubt, because she's new in the ministry, but at least she should give the correct information, Mr. Speaker.
But she has invited you to that visit. Maybe you can be able to comprehend.
I can't wait, Mr. Speaker, for the visit.
Yeah. Madam.
Yes, thank you, Speaker. Yes. What we had said is that the area is protected. It is not fully fenced. We have rangers around the area. And what we are saying is that we want to share a comprehensive report that is looking into the coverage with even the pictures. So we can have the pictorial component being addressed. That way we can be able to achieve the coverage that we require as a country.
Who do you want to inform? The CS?
Inform Kenya that protection is not necessarily an
He doesn't want to be, he has declined the information that you have. Senator Matinga Ome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity. Let me start by commending the CS in the short time she's been in the ministry. She is doing quite fine. Having said that, Mr. Speaker, and aware that the CS might not have internalized all the operations, however, there is an issue that we have been discussing in this House and in the country at large, and it is also a global issue that we thought that we as a country can leverage. And I, coming from a country that sits between two water towers, our effort and to ensure that we have comprehensive forest cover has been quite elaborate, and therefore there is a question that Mr. Speaker, I would want the CS to elaborate on, because it touches on the incentive laws that will ensure that that is operationalized. We were trying to bring the youth and to mainstream the young generation into ensuring that they take part in the afforestation of this country. And therefore, what we were promising to them is that these carbon credits will be a take-home for them. Could the CS tell us how she is planning to go ahead and implement that and operationalize that, so that this very great benefit is not lost to our young generation, whom we must mainstream in maintaining our ecosystem? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Ososi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, maybe before I ask the question, let me thank the CS for coming, even though she has been there for a very short time. She seems to be a quick learner on these things. Mr. Speaker, I would like to know from the CS the policy around sawmilling in the forests, because I have a situation in my county in Kibiri Forest, which is part of the larger Kakamega Forest, where the community is involved in the growing of trees, but then when it comes to sawmilling, they do not involve the community. They bring people from other parts of the country, from other counties, who come to do sawmilling. And yet these people have been involved in the growing of the trees, in taking care of the forest, but when it comes to now harvesting the trees, they bring contractors and sawmillers from other parts of the country. So what is the policy of the ministry on sawmilling and involvement of the community? Because, Mr. Speaker, I brought this matter before this House twice, and every time I'm being told that something is going to be done about it. But the situation is still the same, Mr. Speaker. So I would like to know from the Cabinet Secretary what steps they are taking. And Mr. Speaker, this question does not need her to go and research. This is a matter that has come here twice. What steps are they taking to ensure that the community is fully involved, not just in the growing of trees, but even in harvesting of trees when they are ready to be harvested? Mr. Speaker. Kibiri Forest.
Senator Mariam Sheikh Omar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, my question is, as the CS, when it comes to tree plantings, it involves both national governments and the county governments. My question is, what measures or reward that the ministry have to give to encourage counties to plant more trees? Thank you.
Senator Manzo Daniel.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to ask the Honorable CS about the transportation of seedlings. After seedlings have been grown by the ministry, then they have to be transported to different areas for planting. And that has been a problem in Kilungu, Muka area, forest, where the farmers there who work with the forest department want to take these trees to primary schools to plant, especially in this rainy season. But there's been constant questions as to transportation. Do you help transport the seedlings to areas or forests that are going to be planted? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Lengwe Steve.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Cabinet Secretary, given the government of Kenya ambitious policy to plant 1 billion trees in the next 10 years, as part of the national government afforestation policy, could the Cabinet Secretary clarify how this policy aligns with the management and regulation of logging activities in private forests? Specifically, how does the government ensure that logging in private forests does not undermine the government efforts?
Senator Mandago Jackson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I have a question to the Cabinet Secretary which we may not get an answer because it's not closely related, but it is endangering our forests. There is a plant called Kaskuda that is destroying the very trees that we plant if it is not checked, just like the Madenge plant Senator Dulo was talking about. It is going to become a disaster. We've seen the destruction that is going. What is the ministry doing? Or is there a chemical that can be sprayed? Or how can we get rid of this parasitic plant that is destroying our trees, Honorable Speaker?
I think that was the last question, but I don't, Senator Wakili Ilali, are you reappearing again now as the Senator from Bomet? Because you appeared as Senator for, on behalf of Mulango.
No, I was
Thank you
queuing
then. Thank you.
earlier on.
Thank you very much. Madam CS, just respond to those few interventions, and then we call it a day.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker and honorable members. Regarding the carbon credit, this is quite an elaborate report that would require extensive discussion, and we have the carbon regulations which are in place, and so we recommend again 7 days to prepare that report. For the sawmilling, the trees are disposed through open tender as per the Public Procurement Act. And again, we want to inform you that everybody is allowed to tender. And communities are encouraged and are allocated 30 to 60% of the same. And again, local licenses are considered at a ratio of 60 to 40. So for the transportation of seedlings, there is no budgetary provision for transport, but KFS will support also in the tree planting sessions. So we encourage the utilization of the same staff that we have as a ministry. The public has been sensitized regarding Honorable Mandago's question. It has been sensitized through KEFRI and CALPO, and there's discussions going on with the community. However, I believe that we will be sending a comprehensive report regarding the same as we had alluded to earlier. Thank you.
Senator Ososi, you know you are very passionate when you asked your question on the sawmillers in your county. But you are not even keen to listen to the answer that was provided. And you said you want a straight answer, not even to be given this to come and respond again.
Mr. Speaker, I'm very sorry. I was consulting with my party member here.
You know,
Senator
we are
Faki.
not now addressing party issues. We are listening to the responses from the CS. She came all the way to address our questions. Therefore, what she answered is that Madam CS, just take 1 minute to repeat what you said, because you should encourage sawmillers to participate in the tendering of the, when tenders are floated. Madam CS.
Yes.
Yes. Just repeat what you said on the sawmillers in his county, Vihiga County.
Yes, for the sawmillers, the trees are disposed through open tendering as per the Public Procurement Act. And the concern about tendering, everybody is allowed to tender. And the communities are again encouraged. They are allocated 30 to 60% of the same. Again, the local licenses are considered for the community at a ratio of 60 to 40.
Good enough. No, there is no much time to exchange again. So I advise you to meet all your sawmillers in the county and advise them on the process. Also provide an officer so that he can be able to engage the sawmillers in Vihiga County and its environs. Senator Ososi, 30 seconds. I want to
Speaker,
conclude
the
this.
answer given by the Madam CS is that is a tendering process. Madam Speaker, the information I have is that, Mr. Speaker, sorry, Mr. Speaker, the information I have is that all the people who have been given the jobs, none of them is local. So where is the 30% the CS is referring to? And I have evidence that I can provide, Mr. Speaker, on that.
Madam CS.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Yes, for tendering, normally all those that are pre-qualified are the ones that receive license. So maybe the concern there is that they were not, they did not pass the pre-qualification. So maybe we could again discuss that further with our team here to identify what challenges they had when they were tendering. Yes.
I advise that, Madam CS, you task the county conservator.
Yes.
To engage these communities so that they can understand what happens in the process. Because there is a county forest officer there or conservator who is stationed in your county. So just organize in a way that the conservator can be able to address those issues in Vihiga County and any other county that needs that sensitization. So, honorable senators, we have come to the conclusion. Your issue was not addressed? Was it very technical?
Mr. Speaker, I asked about the government policy on logging on private forests. I didn't hear the feedback from the Cabinet Secretary. Thank you.
Logging in private forest.
Yes. So the regulations are underway. They are undergoing public participation to strengthen the private forests currently. And again, there are harvesting rules which provides a procedure for them to monitor the forests. And KFS and the county are working again together to ensure that there is compliance for the forests. So maybe you wait, we will also share a report within 7 days, giving you a comprehensive report on what we are doing for the private forests. But at a bird's eye view, what we can tell you is the regulations are undergoing public participation, and also we have rules and procedures in place, and KFS and county are also compliant to the rules, the very same rules. Thank you.
Senator Wambua. within less than 1 minute. What is your comment on the logging?
I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for indulging me. Mr. Speaker, mine is just to provide some information to the CS about this rampant logging that is taking place across the country. Mr. Speaker, last weekend I was in Kitui, a ward called Tharaka, and these are Kenya Power people, restoring power lines. Mr. Speaker, the level of felling of trees, in fact, if proper investigation is carried out, it may as well produce the results, Mr. Speaker, that in fact Kenya Power is doing serious damage to our forests. And the kind of trees that they are cutting down are trees that have been there for hundreds of years, simply just to provide wailing for power lines. And now, Mr. Speaker, this morning, I've just come from Nakuru. And Mr. Speaker, I've witnessed the same thing, felling of trees that clearly are not less than 50 years, 60 years old. Mr. Speaker, the ministry has got to do something about logging, both in public forests and even in private forests. Otherwise, you're going to convert this country into a desert. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Madam CS, maybe you can comment on the indiscriminate logging of felling of trees by Kenya Power and Littering Company. Actually, Nairobi, almost all the estates, especially the upper estates, they have done a lot of injustice to the same drive that we have of planting on 15 billion. So we are doing plus 100,000, then they are subtracting 200,000. So we are really progressing. Maybe if there is a policy at the cabinet level, how you can engage the Minister of Energy and the Minister of Environment, what other methods can we use to put our cables? Maybe even they are felling, even in where they are cotton cables, they are still felling trees. So you don't understand what they are doing. But maybe you can make a comment as we wind up.
Yes. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The ministry has indeed reached out to the Ministry of Energy, and a technical working group has been established to address the issue. So we have Ministry of Energy and Health on board, Ministry of Energy and Environment on board to address the concerns to prevent the felling of trees. Yes.
As you do also the other report, you can include what has been agreed, because for sure we cannot move on that way in that direction. So maybe you can find out what has been agreed between the two ministries with the working group. How far are they on this matter, so that also we can be able to assist Kenyans. So, Honorable Senators, that is the end of engagement with the CS Environment. And thank you for finding time to appear to the Senate. We'll be waiting for that report as you have stipulated within the 7 days. So thank you very much. We are now free to move to other matters of nation building. Asanteni sana. Next online is the CS for loans and transport. Understand is around the building, so usher in the CS.